What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my demands. Like and subscribe. So, figured I'd get out of the car, find some place nice, touch grass, if you will, touch grass. So I haven't been paying attention to the industry, which is good sometimes. You get to sit back and think about stuff. Think about why you're a gamer. Think about why you're a donkey unicorn. Think about why you're a pony. All these things. So, why are you a pony? Why I'm an Xbox fan and anti-Sony? Well, that's a story. And I've said it before on previous videos. I won't go through it now because it's not that important. But sometimes you gotta think, why? Like, are you a follower? Do you have your own set of ideas where you can just be like, I like this, I'm gonna go there, instead of everybody's there, that's the winning team, I'm gonna just be a bandwagoneer, follow the leader and all that? That's the case for some people. They want to be with the best. The perceived best is not actually the best in most cases. Perception is reality for some people, but it's all good. So, think about what's going on right now, and the perception is changing. PSN outage. What's that about? When's the last time Xbox was out, and how long was it out for? An hour or two, maybe. PSN is out on a double XP weekend on Call of Duty. I seen so many people like, yo, I can't even do Call of Duty because and I'm like, should be on Xbox, should be on PC, should be on anybody else. Well, not Switch because they don't have it yet, but when they get it. So, certain things that are kind of in the community or the environment that kind of detract and distract from the more important things, like the health of the industry, first and foremost, right? If the industry was in shambles, then we wouldn't be doing videos about donkey unicorns and ponies. We wouldn't be talking about video games. We'd be talking about something else. Because, but right now it's pretty healthy. You're looking at what Xbox is doing, buying this, buying that. If the industry wasn't healthy, a giant corporation like Microsoft wouldn't be buying up this and that and the third to try to get a piece of it, right? Meanwhile, Sony is falling apart. They're shedding CEOs. They're shedding studios. They just fired an undisclosed amount of people. They won't even say. It's so bad. They won't even say how many people they fired. They won't even say. That's the Sony that y'all like. PlayDation. Donkey unicorns love that. They love to be blindfolded like pinatas, turned around, and done with what they will. Get hit by back. I don't know. But also I'm a little sorry for that. But it's something. It's like if that was Xbox with the outage, Donkey unicorns to punch back. Oh my gosh, blah blah blah. Fire Phil Spencer. I'm like, we didn't yet. I mean, we were saying, Jim Ryan's not a good guy. Flying lion, trying Brussels, hopping on planes. Jim Ryan, he got himself fired for making bad business decisions. Herman Hulst just got demoted for making bad business decisions. He had a chance to be the CEO of PlayStation. He had a chance to get Jim Ryan's job, and he failed to get that job because Concord. Always got to mention Concord, the most biggest failure in the world, history of the world, as far as games go, financially speaking, and optically too. I mean, the game itself wasn't horrible. I mean, obviously it wasn't good enough to be not the worst failure. That's I don't think Donkey Unicorns and Ponies understand and realize how gigantic of a deal that is. They're trying to downplay it. They're trying to like, oh, look at this, trying to distract you from that point. It's crazy. So it's part of history. It's part of video game history that Sony, the winner to most or to some, gave you the worst piece of game content, whatever you want to call that. I don't even know. They tried and they failed so hard that the king pony himself, Colin Moriarty, had to break the news. If it wasn't him, if it wasn't Colin, right? This is why I don't agree with him on almost everything, but I will say that I appreciate the fact that he came out with this story. Now, it wasn't because he wanted to show Sony in a bad light or anything. He would prefer them to be winning all the time and stuff, but he also has a business, right? He has Last Stand Media, whatever it's called. And so breaking that news, getting that inside info and putting that out there, and he was the only one. If it wasn't for him, we would not know that Concord cost almost $500 million all in. No, not all in. Not even including the studio cost. The cost of the... So, even he had to explain to these donkey unicorns and ponies what the deal was. And it's not a good look. And remember, we can never forget. So every video we're going to mention it. But once again, it's about stepping back and looking at what's going on and saying, yo, Colin said the worst. He told everybody the worst news because of business reasons, because he wanted the scoop, or he had the scoop, he had the info. But also, if he was, I would say, if that part of his business wasn't as important as him being a fan of Sony or Donkey Unicorn or whatever, he wouldn't have said nothing. But once again, money is not the root of all evil, but it is definitely the bottom line. I guess it is the root. It depends on how you look at it. So if you think Colin will take the money route, hey, we should probably talk about this so we can get all these likes and all these eyes on our stuff, then you look at Sony, right? They're losing money, they're bleeding money, they're firing people because their games are failing. So you have to look at PlayStation as a company that's first and foremost concerned with making the most money as possible. First and foremost. And then you look at their decisions. You look at the product that they put out. You look at the product they put out in as far as quality and I was gonna say length, but we don't want to dirt it up. You know what I'm saying? So so what I'm saying is that moving forward, there's going to be a lot of subpar products from PlayStation. Meaning, Shuhei already said it. It's a bunch of remakes and remasters. If you want the real games, the real single player stuff, you have to buy the remakes and the remasters. I still don't understand. I still don't get how that's even something you should say. Well, he could say it because he's not there anymore. So he was like, screw you guys. I'm going to tell him all the secrets. And so he did. And Donkey Unicorns and Ponies, they're in super denial. I don't know what denial. I know it's a river, but I don't know what denial is. I don't know what kind of flavor of denial they're in, but they're in it because they're trying to find. They're so adamant about saying, "Oh, we getting your games on PlayStation. We're getting these Xbox games," not realizing that the business side of them getting games on PlayStation mean y'all, Donkey Unicorns and Ponies, are paying the pimp Xbox 70%. Xbox is pimping y'all out. And y'all are enjoying it. Y'all love being streetwalkers, I guess. Or, not all sex workers are streetwalkers. So, yeah. But you get it. Maybe you're in a location, if you will. Anyway, so Xbox is pimping out the Donkey Unicorns and the Ponies, and the Ponies are bragging about getting pimped out. Picture this in the actual the analogy that I'm putting forth. Imagine those two. The P guy is pimping out, the pimp is pimping out the worker, and the worker is bragging about getting pimped out by, right? And you sit there, you sit back, and you're like, you don't get it, you don't understand. Like, why would, I mean, I guess amongst her contemporaries, maybe he's a really good pimp. He's the best pimp. He's the most gracious and gentle with the talcum powder. Slap. I don't know how pimping works that much. It's only what I've seen in movies and the occasional weird YouTube video that pops up on my algorithm. Like, hey, what's with that? I'm like, huh? I was looking for Indonesia videos and this pops up. I'm like, what are you guys doing? I'm going on a trip. Hopefully that's why. Anyway, it's early in the morning. It's crazy that ponies and donkey unicorns are bragging and celebrating about getting pipped out. And I mean, I guess it goes to the psychology of what the console war creates in people. And I mean, I think there is a limit. So it's kind of like if you think about Tim Puppy and Crap Gamer last generation, where Phil made Crap Gamer flip because Phil said, what, you're gonna boycott the game because other people could play it? Basically, that's what he said. And Crap had a little he got his panties in a bunch. He got mad and he flipped to Pony, which is asinine. It's like, why, really? You're a child too. You're a child. Tim Dog's a child. It's the children's club, I guess. I don't know. But it's really weird. So you look at these things, the psychology of it, and you wonder, what's the next step? Not the denial part, but the next step of the pony donkey unicorn flip-flop epidemic. I don't know what to call it. There probably is an actual term for what they are doing and what they're going through, but I have no idea what it is. But I'm wondering what the next phase of it is, because something else is gonna happen where it's like, okay, they're either gonna go, oh, it is acceptance, I guess, if you want to use the denial stages, and so they're gonna all be like, oh, PlayStation is blah, I'm just gonna go to PC, or they're gonna use the PlayStation has all the games, so, but it's still not quite there, you know what I mean? Because they're ignoring the fact that PlayStation is also third party. It's a whole bunch of craziness. But like I always say, the health of the industry is more important than whichever side wins or loses. If Xbox goes and says, we're not doing this no more, they get rid of their Xbox division, they're not doing hardware or whatever, somebody else Sega buys them. I'm just saying, this is like theoretical. Sega buys them, Sega does. I mean, that would be great, because I'd be like, oh, I'm still a Sega fan, so that's good. But Sega buys them, that'd be cool. But as long as like the games that I like and more games that I like come out, and it'd be cool. One last thing, if you've noticed, right, ever since Xbox bought these studios, bought these publishers, got all these games lined up, start putting out games, right, you notice that the type of games that are coming out harken back to actual games, not these movie sad dad walking simulator games that excuse me, that PlayStation has trained their audience and many of the public to think that that's what AAA gaming is. And the problem, I mean, we've said this before, the problem with what Sony has done is that they've set this expectation that is A, unrealistic, and B, not necessarily true, because the best games are not necessarily those type of games. They're good, of course, they have their own specific genre, but other games are coming out. I mean, Helldivers 2 is a perfect example where it's not that type of game. It's just a fun multiplayer game, right? That's not what Sony makes. And actually, Sony didn't make that game. They paid for it. They didn't make it. They don't have studios to make the game. The proof is in the 12 live service games that, 10 of them failed or something? 10 of them got canceled. I'm like, how do you... We're not getting into that. But that's another indication of their lack of understanding of how to make fun video games outside of their... I wouldn't even call their movie games fun. They're dramatic movies, but they're interactive movies. That's what they are, technically. And I mean, it's an interactive medium, but would you say, oh, The Last of Us, that's a fun game? It's fun. It's depressing. It's sad. It's violent. It's a lot of bad emotional feelings put into a game telling a story about characters that are all these things. It's about vengeance and revenge and all these things. Hate. It's about so many things that are not good. Like, what's the good part? What's the good emotions? That Joel was trying to protect Ellie, but then he ends up being the bad guy because he kills Abby's father. Spoilers. I'm like, how's this fun? How does it give you a fun feeling? Would you let your 5-year-old child who wants to have fun playing a video game play The Last of Us? No, you wouldn't, because it's not a fun game. And this is what Sony's been making for 10 years, longer than that. Not fun games, just dramatic. Like God of War, it's an adventure. And I think the problem with God of War 2018 and on is that they took what little fun that was in the God of War games, because it was mainly violence and just machismo, blah blah blah. Not saying it was like I guess it was kind of testosterone driven, because it was really all anger and stuff, but it was kind of like a 80s schlocky type of thing. You want to talk about movies, it's not really a movie, but like the Schwarzenegger action movies where it's just blah, 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 he's shooting everybody, no guns in God of War, but he's killing everybody, he's killing all the guys. It's like, oh, that's kind of crazy, let's go. It's just a bunch of crazy action happening. That's different in a way, because yes, there are sad undertones with the story where his family dies and blah blah blah. I guess the story is that he ended up killing them. I don't even know. But when you take the two and you line them up, and you're like, okay, which is more fun? I mean, the original God of War is more fun. And David Jaffe said this, that the new God of War, he doesn't like. I mean, he says they're good games, but he doesn't like them. He doesn't like what Cory Barlog, whatever his name is, did to Kratos, because he basically demasculated him, or he made him not Kratos anymore. Because Kratos was just like, I'm gonna kill everybody, boosh boosh boosh, I'm gonna take your head and rip out your eyes, and I'm gonna do all this crazy stuff. That was like one of the things about God of War. And yes, it was ultra violent, yes, blah, blah, blah. But that at least is like, it's not like, oh, it's so realistic that, oh, it's harmful to brains of humans. It's like, no, we understand that it's ridiculous. We understand it's a guy who's a demigod who's basically killing other gods, which is weird in itself. And it's okay, wait, it's the Greek gods, so mythology, which people don't really believe in anymore, and blah blah blah. So you're like, okay, there's all these fantastical elements to it, and it makes it's a little bit less than, oh, I'm gonna kill your dad to save this girl who's immune. Blah, blah, blah. It's just, but I mean, I guess maybe it did start with the original God of War and that type of, stories. Maybe it was David Jaffe's fault. It's your fault, Jaffe. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I mean, I want gamers to kind of sit and look at the games that are coming out. And I look at the lineup Xbox got, like South of Midnight, Fable, Call of Duty, whatever. That's just a mainstay at this point. Avowed. There's all these like fantastical, potentially fun, because I don't know, I haven't played them yet, but they look more fun. You put all those games in the group over here, and you put all those sad dad walking simulators, PlayStation, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna play all these colorful, happy games over here. Sorry, and not that they're like kitty colorful, but it's like about it, super colorful. And I'm like, that looks kind of looks good, you know. How do you think Nintendo's so popular and so successful? They make nothing but kiddie games, and they were cartoon baby games. They're the most successful company right now as far as unit sales and games. And well, I don't know about games. Yeah, games. They sold 1.3 billion units. People thought it was money, but it was units of their games. Usually at full price because they don't cut their prices. But yeah, I mean, that's what, just sit back, think about what's going on, and yeah. But anyway, I appreciate you hanging the show and listening, man. Like and subscribe. Hit me in the comments below. Let me know what you think about the industry right now, the type of games that PlayStation is putting out for you, and is that where you're going to stay for a minute, or are you going to go and check out Game Pass and like, try to pay that Game Pass, King. Anyway, I'll talk to you on the next one. Till the wing.